Welcome to today's video, Genesis 50 verse 20 explained. But as for you, you thought evil against me, but God meant it unto good, to bring to pass, as it is this day, to save much people alive. This verse is spoken by Joseph to his brothers near the end of the book of Genesis. It's a powerful summary of God's sovereignty, grace, and providence, even when others intend harm. Let's break it down to understand what it truly means. Joseph is addressing the betrayal of his brothers. Years earlier, they had sold him into slavery because of jealousy and hatred. They thought they were getting rid of a problem, but what they didn't know was that their actions were being used by God for a greater purpose. The first part of the verse says, "Ye thought evil against me." That clearly states the human intent. His brothers acted with malice. Their plan was rooted in sin, and there was no justification for what they did. But then comes a powerful shift in the verse, "But God meant it unto good." This contrast highlights that while human beings make choices, even evil ones, God is still in control. He can take what others intend for evil and use it as part of His divine plan for good. This doesn't mean God caused the evil or approved of it, but that He is powerful enough to work through it. Joseph's life is the perfect example of this truth. Because he was sold into slavery, he ended up in Egypt. Because of his time there, he eventually became second in command to Pharaoh. Because of his leadership, Egypt was prepared for a massive famine. And because of that preparation, countless lives were saved, to save much people alive, as the verse says. This verse reminds us that suffering and injustice do not mean God has abandoned us. Even when people hurt us, when life feels unfair, or when we don't understand the reasons for what is happening, God can be working behind the scenes. He sees the bigger picture that we often cannot. Also, this verse teaches us about forgiveness. Joseph could have stayed bitter. He could have punished his brothers when he had the power to do so. But instead, he saw God's hand in the situation and chose mercy over revenge. He realized that the pain he endured was used by God to accomplish something greater than himself. For the believer, Genesis 50 verse 20 is a verse of hope. It tells us that our pain is not wasted, our tears are not unnoticed, and our trials are not without purpose. It shows that God can take the broken pieces of our story and use them to build something that brings life and blessing to others. Whether you are facing betrayal, hardship, or seasons of confusion, remember Joseph's words. What others meant for evil, God can turn for good. His plans are always greater than what we can see in the moment.